Humanity sets the agenda.
It's 11:31. You are listening to the Midnight Talk on Sila Media with me, Mara Makwanda. And we are going to be talking about incorporating infused teas in your diet, in your kids' diet, in your family's diet, and the benefits of it with the registered dietitian Mbali Mapholi. You know the saying, anytime is tea time. Well, I think that saying came from the ways that you can enjoy tea. Who says that tea is just for breakfast or for an evening or high tea with the ladies? No, man, there's no such thing. Tea is for any time, any weather, no matter how hot it is outside, you can still enjoy a cup of tea, whether it's cold brewed or it is warm. It just depends on you, on what you like and how you like it as well. There's a variety of teas to help calm your mood, to make sleeping easy, teas to give you an energy boost, to teas to relax, to teas for everything. And if you'd like some more information, do not consult me because I'm not a tea professional. I just love collecting teas, but you can consult Google because apparently Google has all the answers. But with me right now is our registered dietitian, Mbali Mapholi, and she's also a Laga Rooibos partner. Good morning, Mbali. Thank you for joining me.
Good morning, Mariam. How are you doing? Thank you for having me.
I'm good. Thanks on yourself. It's been a while.
I know it's not been. It's good to see you, though.
Likewise. Well, infusing tea in our diets, or rather lifestyle, when did it become a thing? I mean, I know that we've always been drinking tea, but when did it become, infusing it as part of our a healthy or balanced lifestyle?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I think is to mention that rooibos tea is one of our own. It's a local tea. It's only sort of produced in the Western Cape. So for the longest of time, rooibos tea has been part of many households. But what we've seen now in the recent years, in the 21st century, we started not only drinking it as we would normally, like as a hot tea, but we started now making homemade iced teas, which are cold brews, and that sort of has made tea more exciting, and doing infusions whereby you can add herbs and add fruits and even add vegetables like cucumber. I saw a homemade iced tea recipe where they were using cucumber. So that has sort of changed the game in a way. And now with the popularity or more involvement of kids. I mean, we know the Lager Rooibos tea for kids range. So there's now, specific infusions that are made for kids. Then it's even much more exciting, but not only just for the taste of it, that it's more delicious because of the variety of flavors, but nutritionally as well. So bringing teas that are enriched with vitamins, just like the Lager Rooibos tea for kids range that is enriched with vitamin C. So you can see now that we've come a long way from just drinking black tea or which we were familiar with for the longest of time, and starting exploring with herbal teas like rooibos tea.
Mm-hmm. Now, what are the benefits of infused tea?
Okay, so when it comes to especially the rooibos tea, because it's caffeine free, so that's a good advantage, because especially for children, we do not have a sort of caffeine recommendation for children. So to be safe, we say that it is best that children drink caffeine free or drinks that contain no caffeine. And rooibos tea becomes a fantastic alternative for children for that reason. And the nice thing also is that rooibos tea is packed with antioxidants and polyphenols. I know those are big words, but basically it's plant nutrients that are important for helping us protect our cells, protect our heart cells, brain health, brain cells as well, and just overall good health. And that we get from rooibos tea. And as I mentioned briefly with regards to having vitamin C or vitamin-enriched teas, so like the Lager Rooibos tea for kids, they've got two flavors, the peach and apricot flavor and the apple and berry flavor, which are specifically rooibos tea for kids, and they're enriched with vitamin C. So now we see that because there is always a need for these high nutrient requirements, your vitamins and minerals. So in a child's diet, having a vitamin C enriched or a vitamin enriched rooibos tea adds in that extra layer so that they can get extra vitamins. Of course, as you were mentioning, that certain teas help with sleep. Rooibos tea, we know chamomile tea as well, or the rooibos and chamomile blends. Lager has that blend as well for adults. That it's a fantastic tea because chamomile tea is very known for its relaxation benefits, just so that you get calm and then sleep well. But also when we look into as I said, when we can now use rooibos tea to make homemade iced teas. That's a great thing because in South Africa, we're struggling with childhood obesity. And one of the major contributing factors to that is a high intake of sugary beverages. And when we're looking for solutions to that, okay, adding rooibos tea in a form of homemade iced teas is a fantastic way of helping kids drink better when we're thinking about rethinking the drinks that our kids drink and as means of indirectly reducing childhood obesity. So I think that's a huge benefit because by that, when we can reduce childhood obesity, we are now going to be able to deal with a lot of non-communicable diseases in terms of that when it comes to children and much more that comes with childhood obesity. So I can speak until the sun sets on the benefits, but those are the ones that I wanted to highlight.
No, that's amazing, especially when you get to make it at home because you know exactly how much sugar you're adding into it. You know that this is not filled with any other antioxidants or any other preservatives, whatever. And you're using fresh homemade ingredients besides the tea, of course, but anything else that you infuse your tea with is from the shop that you buy, that you know that this is the ginger that I'm going to add to it. This is the cucumber. By the way, I'm talking like I know because I like making iced tea as well. So it's fun. It's fun to use different flavors and to get the kids involved as well.
Get kids involved. And you know, Miriam, as you're saying, you also love making your own homemade teas. And as an adult, I must confess, I've used the tea for kids flavors to make my own iced tea, even if it was not for my own children. And I love all the flavors, particularly, as I said, the apple and berry flavor. There is a strawberry flavor as well that you can try, or the kids can also try. So there's just that liberty now and that variety. We can choose from all those flavors, and of course infusing with all the ingredients, fresh produce. Lemon has been a popular one that we add in tea, but there is so much more. Berries, your strawberries, blueberries, cherry as well, you can add it there. So yeah, play around with all these fresh produce and making our own infused teas. And I like what you said, controlling the amount of sugar. You know exactly how much sugar you're going to add there, and if you want, you can use sort of non-nutritive sweeteners, your xylitol, your stevia, which won't increase your blood sugar levels that much as well.
All right, now there are teas that are not recommended for kids. Which ones are those that we should steer clear from when buying teas for kids?
Yeah, the big thing about teas for kids, the major thing is caffeine. There are teas that contain caffeine, and we want to somewhat stay clear from those. And the big thing is that we don't have the set recommendations for caffeine for children. So your green tea and black tea, green tea and black tea have got health benefits. They're fantastic teas for adults. They've got a space in our diet as adults. But when it comes to children, we see that rooibos tea becomes the best alternative as a tea for kids because it's caffeine free. And sometimes you find a blend whereby it's rooibos and something else, or there's no example at the top of my head, but you find that there is a blend. There is rooibos, but there is another tea with it. And if there is that blend, you just make sure that the other, tea is caffeine free. Because that's what the major thing is when it comes to children, it's caffeine. So now, when we see this variety of flavors that the rooibos has, so it just takes away from that I mean, we love rooibos tea, but just the original one can be not as exciting for children. I mean, it's got this bitterness to it that, I mean, is natural. So adding these flavors makes it exciting for children to have that choice. And they literally can go mini, mini, many more and pick a blue one because they are color coded as well. And pick a blue one, an orange one, a green one, a pink one for strawberry, and have fun with it. So yeah, so caffeine containing teas, black tea and green tea being the top ones, are not recommended for children because obviously of the caffeine content that is there.
Well, it's not like my daughter loves green tea anyways. I have that on my own. But I used to have incorporated tea in her diet since she was a baby. You know, sometimes I didn't want her to have too much of a bottled milk, so I'd have a rooibos tea for her as well, and that did actually help. You know, I could see the difference, you know, in helping calm her mood and help her sleep better at night, etc. And I like collecting teas, and I like infusing them and making a nice drink at home. And what about adding milk to the tea?
Oh, so adding milk to rooibos tea increases the nutritional content, because remember, whether it's cow's milk or plant-based milk alternatives, they've got nutrition. They are very nutrient dense normally. So adding milk takes it to another level. But what we also see is that for kids, giving them a cup of rooibos tea at night with a dash of milk just brings in that element of making it like a nightcap for them, and they can sleep better because milk has got some nutrients like tryptophan, which are important for, like, they've got that soothing a soothing effect on the kid. So it's combining now rooibos with milk has that nutrient benefit, but also just the sleep, they sleep better. And yeah, you mentioned something about introducing rooibos tea to your daughter when she was a baby, and rooibos tea has a space in babies, but I must say, for the most part of the 21st century, we've had sort of myths as to say that when parents add rooibos tea, it's somewhat it replaces milk in a child's diet. So what we know for the fact is that formula or breast milk should be the primary source of nutrients for, or a primary drink for a child, especially for the first year. And then rooibos tea can be introduced from 6 months over and above the primary milk. So it should never replace milk, but it does add in that layer, as you were saying, keeping, helping them being calm, gut health as well. And the last thing that's important is to never introduce rooibos tea in a bottle, but always introduce it in a sippy cup or a cup for a baby. It just helps them also just that motor coordination, and to be able to be introduced to the drinking concept as opposed to the suckling concept.
All right, that surely gave us a different perspective and when to introduce tea. So thank you for that. No, I did actually only start giving her tea after a year or so, because as we've been told, breast milk is best, and that's the route that we go down with. I'd like to talk about the recipes that we can incorporate into our lifestyle, but please stay with us. We're going to take a break and we'll tackle that when we return.
Okay.
Pray for
items to those severely affected. Donate toward the Penny Appeal Hardship Fund today and assist us in caring for families for a 3-month period with essentials and assistance to small businesses affected by the devastating effects of the unrest. Help us help our city. www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 11 00 573. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
What makes Randery Jewelers the optimum place for your memorable gift? Is it our range of exclusive, high-end, luxurious jewellery? Or is it our master craftsmanship of all your bespoke jewellery needs? We believe it's because at Randery Jewelers, we know just how to make your special moments last forever. Whether it's for a wedding, anniversary, or just a simple gift to show your love, trust Randery Jewelers to make it special. www.randeryjewelers.com. Make your moments last forever with Randery Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
Osman's Taj Mahal Spice and Rice. For over 80 years, Osman's Taj Mahal have been perfecting the art of the perfect blend of spices, pure, aromatic, and well-seasoned. Spices to tantalize your taste buds. From creative cuisines to gastronomical gourmet goodies. From exotic odors to traditional dishes, Osman's Taj Mahal have remained synonymous with quality spices and condiments. Taj Mahal rice, beans, and lentils. Try our range of chili bite mixes, rose and ilachi syrup, our quick and easy biryani pack, and our traditional range of spice blends. Osman's Taj Mahal. There is no substitute for quality.
Africa Muslims Agency teams are on the ground in Afghanistan. Millions of people go daily without food. You can heal Afghanistan. Sponsor towards feeding a family at 1,500 in a month or any amount. Visit africamuslimsagency.co.za or call 011 834 8685. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
If you're a tea lover like me, then this segment is definitely for you, because we are talking about infusing tea into your lifestyle, your children's lifestyle, etc., and how to make them fun and delicious. It's not just about a packet of tea for you or your kids and boiling it and having it like that. No, the world is your oyster. And joining me is Mbali Mapholi, a registered dietitian, to give us those tips. Mbali, thank you for staying with us. And now, I didn't know that people could actually infuse it. All right, I think we have lost Mbali there. All right. We are talking about infusing teas into our diet. And before the break, we were talking about the types of teas available for kids. Rooibos tea is a great one. Rooibos tea can be made any way, anyhow. Now that the weather is warmer, you can make it into an iced tea and enjoy it. Add some berries inside, add some ginger, add some sliced fruits, some sliced peaches. You can also use the teas to make it as a dessert. All right, Mbali is back. Mbali, are you on the line? Okay, we will give Mbali a moment to join us there, to reconnect and join us. But we are talking about infusing kids in infusing tea, not kids. We are talking about infusing tea in your kids' diets and the benefits of them. And it's a healthier option for your kids, instead of having them to drink these sugary drinks, these drinks with a high sugar content. We do know that even juice has a high sugar content. So we thought that perhaps giving them some juice will be better than giving them a soda. But we have since come to the realization that that's not the case. Sometimes juice even contains more sugars than the sodas that we give them. And what's the alternative to this? Because kids are kids. Kids want to drink juice. Kids want to drink sweet things. They want to enjoy sweet things. The alternative is providing tea. Tea is another option for them, but obviously tea that doesn't have a high caffeine content, like your Ceylon black tea or your green tea. Those are better options for your kids. And there's this really cool brand called Tea for Kids, and I've tried it for my child and for myself as well. And the flavors are delicious. It smells great, first of all, and it also tastes great, but also looks fun for the kids. All right, so we're going to be doing this telephone. Mbali is having a bit of a struggle. Mbali, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, madam.
All right, thank you. And well, these technological issues that we face on a daily. So thank you for joining me again. Now, how do we infuse teas in our kids' diets and to make them fun and delicious besides just drinking?
Yeah. So at Naga Rooibos Tea, we've got this concept of the iced tea. We say homemade iced tea is easy as 1, 2, 3. So step 1 is, of course, to boil water to be able to brew your tea. Even when you're making homemade iced tea, it is very important to always brew your tea as a hot beverage first. This is allow rooibos tea to infuse and, all the nice goodies from the rooibos to slip into the water. So that's what you call our step 1. Step 2 is, of course, the brewing part. So now you've boiled your water in step 1. Now you are brewing. So you should be using the lager rooibos or the lager tea for split. And obviously, as I said, there are different flavors. You pick the choice. And then, involve the children. We spoke about it earlier. Involve them in choosing which flavor they like the most. And that's going to encourage them, obviously, to drink the homemade iced tea, because it's one thing to make it and kids not wanting to drink it. And then step 3, and this is where it gets much fun. This is where now we are adding ice into our iced tea. So you can add ice. And what I normally do, this is my, personal touch and a hack, is that I make rooibos ice cubes. So just brew tea and put them in ice cube mold, put it in a freezer, and always have it ready. So that whenever I'm making homemade iced tea, I use that ice instead of using water ice. How cool is that? So
that's so cool.
Yeah. You're adding ice, and then you add fruits. And to add fruits, whatever fruit of choice, depending on the flavor, we almost want to pair the flavor we chose to the fruit you're going to add. So if I'm doing peach and apricot flavor, I want to, add some peach. And now we're going into the stone fruit season. So we're going to have peaches and apricots up, and then if it's peach and berry flavor, we want to go more that root of whatever fruit we're using must somewhat match the flavor so that it just vibes well. And then you add your sweetener. So it could be honey, artificial sweeteners, your stevia, your xylitol, as well as an option, or normal sugar if you can control the quantity as to how much sugar you're going to add, normal cane sugar. So those are the 3 steps to making this fun and delicious and, of course, nutritious homemade iced tea beverages. And trust me, if you involve the kids into making that, and it's that simple, they choose their own fruit, they choose their own sweetener of choice, whether it's honey, they choose their own herbs, because you can also add mint because it goes well with our homemade iced teas. And you tell them, step 1 we do this, step 2 we do this, step 3 we do this. They'll definitely be involved and be excited, and then it makes it quite a fun activity for adults and also for kids as well.
And when you buy a packet of tea, you do get a recipe behind. So that's a start. Also, people can incorporate those recipes. And I came across something that says you can use infused tea in food like oats. How does that work?
100%. So that's the beauty of rooibos tea. It is so versatile. So you can use it in cooking, and one of the best, we've got a hub. It's called More for Moms, Moms with MOMZ, so co.za. That's a hub of our recipes from Lager Rooibos Tea. Or you can go to Jolkel, so co.za, and find those recipes. And you will see that it's a fantastic ingredient to be used in cooking, rooibos tea. So in oats, you can use it to soak your oats. So instead of soaking your oats in water, you can use the tea, the brewed tea, and soak brewed rooibos tea to soak your oats. But also you can cook it in it. So instead of cooking it in water, start by cooking it in rooibos tea. And if there's flavor, it brings in that nice flavor to your child's oats as well. So yeah, and it has been used even cooking meat. I've got this stew or soup recipe, minestrone soup recipe, where we've used rooibos tea. The twins Levo and Lelo, the twins that are also brand ambassadors of Lager, they always use tea in their recipes. So it can be used in many, many different ways.
Well, I'm definitely going to try this oats one. It's just that I've run out of rooibos tea, but as soon as I get another pack, I'm going to try the oats, and I'll let you know how it went, if it tastes good, if it's something that I'd love to have in my diet or not. And dessert.
as well, and thank you. I want to see very
All right. Pretty cool dessert as well, where you made a custard and jelly, but with a twist.
Hello?
Mbali, are you on the line?
I'm still here, yes. I just lost you there for a second. You were talking about jelly and custard.
Yes, I was talking about the jelly and custard dessert. Would you like to give us an idea of how to make that recipe?
That is actually one of my favorites. Because I mean, for the longest of time, we know that jelly and custard was very popular, especially around Christmas. And
Yes.
or like find a way to infuse it in our in it. You know, it's fantastic. So basically, the main ways of how how you can do it, and you can choose the flavor that you want. But I use we use the peach and apricot flavor. Rooibos flavored tea. So you need that, and you need boiling water and cold water, and also you need the peach flavored jelly, and obviously the tea, and then you need. I use the peach and apricot, and then for the other part, I use the apple and berry flavor, and then you need tea peach slices. So basically, all you do is brew the tea, and once the tea is brewed, then you add in the peach or whatever flavored jelly powder into it. And then stir it into dissolve, and then you add the cold water to cool it down. So they can see the recipe in our joke also sort of a recipe in terms of the actual quantities, but it's normally about 450 mils of boiling water in 3 tea bags. Boil that and then add the pack of jelly powder, and then you add about 450 mils of cold water into that. And you do it again for another flavor of tea and another flavor of jelly that you want to use. Then you pour that into about, glasses. So maybe 4 glasses, just evenly, and then you put it in like an air tray so that you angle it nicely. And then once it's set, and then now you can sort of now add custard into that. So allow it to cool in the fridge as well so that it sets nicely. So after the jelly, you can put the slices of peaches, and then you put custard on top. Very, very easy, but the fun part comes into this method of putting it in like actual empty egg tray, so that you just slice a bit and makes that nice angle. And kids love that. It's always fun. So yeah, same for a part of boiling water in 3 tea bags of tea. Boil, steep that, and then add the packet of jelly, and then add another 400 mils of cold water. Let it set, and then you can play around with that however way you want.
Sounds amazing, and I can already picture it, 2 jellies on either side and custard in the middle. Like, you will be the talk of town, and everybody's going to be saying what a lovely dessert that you made these holidays. Mbali, thank you so much for your time and for sharing those recipes and ideas with us.
Thank you for having me as always, Mariam.
It's a pleasure. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I was registered dietitian Mbali Mapholi from the Urban Dietitian rather, and you can find her on social media platforms as the Urban Dietitian, and recipes galore as well when it comes to what to make and how to make them. When it comes to the rooibos teas, I mean, I'm sure you have a better idea now that you don't have to throw them out, but you can make them. You can make them in different ways. You can infuse them into your oats, or maybe even porridge, or maybe try something else. Who knows? Your recipe could be featured as well. And also make some delicious desserts, and obviously the ever so loving iced tea, which we will enjoy in the warmer summer days that are coming up very, very soon. The next month we will be in the summer month, the summer season. All right, guys, I don't sound too excited because I'm not a fan of summer, but anyways. So thank you for joining us, but do stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.